If you had told Mara 3 years ago that she'd one day become the main parent for 2 girls she didn't biologically bring into the world, she would have laughed, nervously. Not because she didn't like kids, but because her life back then was carefully organized, predictable, and planned down to the hour. She woke up early, hit the gym, went to work, and came home to quiet evenings with her husband Tom. No chaos, no emotional storms. No forgotten lunchboxes. But life has a way of flipping everything upside down when you least expect it. And for Mara, that flip arrived in the form of 2 frightened sisters, Lily, 12 at the time, and Ava, 9, dragging suitcases behind them with tear-stained faces. They had come from their mom's house. They didn't talk much that night. They didn't have to. Mara and Tom could see everything in their eyes. Fear. Exhaustion, the kind of sadness no child should ever have to feel. That night, their life changed forever. And Mara, without hesitation, stepped into a role she never thought she would fill. The next few months were a whirlwind that felt like a marathon with no finish line. There were court meetings, emergency therapy appointments, school conferences, and long nights spent reassuring the girls that they were safe now. Tom tried his best, he really did. But between his job and years of being kept at a distance by the girl's mother, he was out of practice. So Mara naturally became the one who did the heavy lifting. She woke them up in the mornings, she made their lunches, she drove them everywhere, school, gymnastics, therapy, friends' houses, back home, then out again when someone forgot a backpack. She didn't complain. Not even once. In fact, she found herself loving it more than she expected. She loved Lily's quiet humor, Ava's wild imagination, and the way both girls started coming to her for things they used to hide from adults. Still, things weren't perfect. Not by a long shot. Their biological mother barely called. She didn't pay child support. Even the flights for the girls' occasional visits were usually paid for by their grandmother, Tom's ex-mother-in-law, a woman named Margaret. Margaret wasn't cruel, at least not intentionally, but she always acted as though Mara didn't quite belong, like she was temporary, like she was a placeholder for the real mom, even though that real mom had vanished the moment things got hard. Every time Margaret visited, she'd ask the girls questions and skip right over Mara. Every holiday card she sent was addressed to Tom and the girls, never to Tom, the girls, and Mara. And every time Mara reminded herself, it's not personal. She's grieving. She's confused. Just let it go. But little cuts add up. Tiny ones hurt the most. One chilly Saturday morning, after dropping the girls off at dance practice, Mara was scrolling through old pictures on her phone when she realized something strange. They didn't have a single family photo. Not one. They had selfies, blurry school event snapshots, and a few rushed Christmas pictures from relatives, but nothing real. Nothing that captured who they had become as a family. The idea hit her like a spark. A real photo session. Outfits, hair, the whole thing. Something the girls could look back on years later and say, that was the moment our family felt whole. So she booked a photographer, paid the deposit, coordinated everyone's outfits. Soft browns, creams, and deep greens to match the fall leaves. She even made back-to-back hair appointments for the girls, turning the entire day into something magical. The session was perfect. The girls twirled through the leaves. Tom lifted them into the air. Mara held their hands as they laughed. Real, warm laughter, the kind she feared she'd never hear from them back when they first arrived at her doorstep. When the photos came back, they were breathtaking. Even Tom, who rarely cried, wiped tears from his eyes. He posted a few on Facebook, proud and excited. For a moment, everything felt peaceful. Complete, normal. like they were a family carved not from blood, but from bravery and effort. But peace never lasts long in Mara's world. It never had. The trouble started the next day. Lily walked into the kitchen holding her phone awkwardly, like it was something that might explode. Mara? She said quietly. Yeah, sweetheart? Grandma sent me a message. Mara braced herself. Messages from Margaret rarely led anywhere pleasant. What did she say? Lily hesitated. She loved the photos, and she wants the individual pics of me and Ava. She asked if you could send them. Mara froze. For most people, this would be a harmless request. But for her, it felt like someone had poked a bruise she'd been trying to hide. Why didn't Margaret ask directly? Why always through the kids? Why avoid speaking to her like she was some outsider sneaking into the family? Mara swallowed. Oh, okay. Thanks for telling me, sweetheart. Lily nodded and left the room, clearly sensing tension she wasn't meant to feel. That night, after the girls went to bed, Mara told Tom she didn't want to send the individual photos. Tom blinked twice, confused. They're just pictures, honey. Not to me, Mara whispered. She explained everything. How she'd planned the shoot, paid for it, spent hours organizing it. How the photos were meant to be a symbol of their family, not something to be handed off and redistributed however someone else wanted. And especially not to someone who still treated her like she didn't belong. Tom sighed. Mara, you're overthinking this. Am I? She said. Yes, Margaret's their grandma. She loves them. It's normal for her to want pictures. Then she can ask us, not the kids. They argued, not loudly, not dramatically, but in that painful, quiet way couples argue when both believe they're right. Tom thought she was being petty. Mara thought he wasn't seeing how it made her feel invisible. When he went to bed early, she sat alone on the couch, staring at one of the new photos. Ava leaning her head on Mara's shoulder, both of them smiling softly. She had earned that smile, not through biology, but through years of late-night talks, hugs after nightmares, homework meltdowns, missed work meetings, and showing up again and again when their real mother didn't. So why did she still feel so easily pushed out? The next day, everything got worse. Because Lily and Ava overheard a bit of the conversation they weren't supposed to, but kids always hear more than adults think. Lily asked timidly, "Did we do something wrong asking Grandma?" Ava's eyes were glossy. "Are you mad at us?" Mara's heart shattered. No, she said, pulling them close. You girls did everything right. This is between grown-ups, not you. But their worried expressions stayed. The guilt burned her from the inside, and yet the frustration didn't go away. Because deep down, Mara knew exactly what would happen if she sent those photos. Margaret would forward them to the girl's mother, the same woman who had ignored them for months, the same woman who hadn't spent $1 helping raise them, the same woman who still called Mara that woman whenever she spoke to Tom. And Mara couldn't stand the idea of those special pictures she'd poured her heart into, becoming a casual digital attachment passed around people who didn't value what they represented. Still, she didn't know how to explain any of that without sounding insecure or jealous. And she hated that. She wasn't jealous of the girl's mother, not at all. She was hurt by her negligence, angry even, but not jealous. Yet she still felt like the world was waiting for her to mess up so they could say, "See? That's why stepmoms aren't real moms." That fear had lived in her chest since the night the girls arrived. She thought she'd buried it, but Margaret's request had dug it right back up. 2 days later, things escalated again. Margaret sent another message, this time directly to Tom. "I still need those pictures. The girl said you haven't sent them yet." Mara felt her stomach twist when Tom showed her. Need? She needed them. Like Mara was withholding medicine or something vital. Tom looked at her gently. "Babe, please, it's not a big deal. Can we just send them?" Mara shook her head. "Not until I understand why she wants them." "She's their grandmother." "I know, but she never asks for pictures of all 4 of us together. Only the girls, always the girls. It feels like she's cutting us out." Tom rubbed his forehead. "Look, I get that it feels that way, but you're reading too much into it." "Am I?" Mara whispered again. "Yes," he insisted, and then he went upstairs, frustrated. Mara sat on the couch again, wondering if she really was losing her mind over something simple. Was she being controlling? Was she being protective? Was she being scared? Maybe all 3. But no matter how she tried to talk herself out of it, something inside her kept repeating. Those photos are precious. They represent your family. You have a right to protect them, even if other people don't understand why. Before I continue to part 2, if you're enjoying this story, take just a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps amazing stories like this one reach more people. Mara tried to shake off the heaviness in her chest, but it clung to her like fog. Every time she walked past one of the framed photos leaning against the hallway wall, she felt that tug, the mixture of pride and dread twisting together inside her. By midweek, the tension in the house had settled like a quiet storm. Tom had gone back to acting normal, but Mara could sense the distance. He wasn't angry, just tired. Tired of the arguments. Tired of navigating a situation without a clear right answer. The girls were quieter too. Lily stayed in her room more. Ava clung to Mara's arm during dinner, as if afraid she might walk away. It broke Mara's heart, but she didn't know how to fix it without betraying her own feelings. That Thursday evening, something unexpected finally pushed everything over the edge. While Mara was cleaning up the dining table, her phone buzzed. She glanced down and froze. The message wasn't from a friend. It wasn't even from Tom. It was from Margaret. The first time ever. She had never, not once, directly messaged Mara. Mara's stomach tightened as she tapped the screen. "Hi, the girls told me you're not sending the pictures. I don't understand why. I just want photos of my granddaughters." That was it. No greeting, no kindness, no acknowledgement of the effort Mara had invested. Just confusion dipped in accusation. Mara set the phone down and pressed her palms against her eyes. Why now? Why this tone? Why couldn't Margaret ever speak to her like an equal? Like someone who mattered? She didn't reply. Not yet. Not while her emotions were swirling too fast to name. Later that night, as the girls got ready for bed, Ava asked a question that felt like a punch. "Are you leaving?" Mara blinked, stunned. "No, why would you think that?" Ava shrugged, twisting the end of her pajama sleeve. "You and Dad sound mad. And Grandma said something about how moms should always put kids first. And her voice trembled. "I don't want you to go." Mara knelt and pulled her into a tight hug. "I'm not going anywhere. Not ever. You hear me?" Ava nodded, tears dripping onto Mara's shoulder. Just when Mara thought she'd steadied herself, Lily stepped in the doorway, eyes red. "I told Grandma to stop asking. But she said she has a right to pictures because she's blood family. Does that mean we're not your real family? The world stopped. Completely. Mara hugged them both, squeezing until her arms ached. You are my real family. There's nothing more real than what we've built together. But inside, something snapped awake. A determination she didn't know she had. If protecting the girls meant standing up to Margaret, then so be it. The next morning, after dropping the girls at school, Mara sat in her car, staring at her phone. She finally typed a response. I'm happy to talk about this, but please don't put the girls in the middle. They got scared because they felt they did something wrong. She paused, hesitated, and added, I planned, organized, and paid for the photo session. These pictures are very meaningful to me. Not just portraits, but a symbol of our family's journey. I'm not comfortable sending individual photos without understanding why you want them. She debated deleting it, softening it. But no, she was done swallowing her feelings. She hit send. There was no reply, not for hours. That evening, Tom walked into the living room holding his phone. I talked to my mom, he said quietly. Mara looked up, heart pounding. And? She thinks you're trying to control her relationship with the kids. Mara stared. What? How? She said you're keeping things from her, that you're trying to replace their mother. Replace? That word was a knife. I have never tried to replace anyone, Mara whispered. I know, Tom said, sitting beside her. I told her that, but she's old-fashioned. She thinks biological ties give her certain rights. Mara scoffed bitterly. So biology matters more than who's actually raising them? Feeding them? Loving them? She doesn't see it that way. Silence, thick, painful. Tom sighed. I don't want this tearing us apart. Maybe just send her the photos? For peace? And what about my peace? Tom winced. I'm trying to find the middle ground. There is no middle ground when one side refuses to see me. For the first time since the girls arrived, Mara felt truly alone. Not because Tom didn't love her, but because he couldn't understand the weight she carried. The invisible labor, the emotional cost, the constant feeling of being second best in a role she gave her whole heart to. She didn't know how to bridge that gap, not yet. 2 days later came the twist no one expected. The girl's mother, someone who rarely contacted them, sent Tom a message. Saw the photos. Cute. Can I get the originals? With a winking emoji. Mara felt the air leave her lungs. How did she see them? She whispered. Tom's face paled. My mom must have sent them. Not might have. Not probably. Must have. Because the only person outside their household who had shown interest was Margaret. Mara stood up, trembling. So she went behind our backs? And behind yours? And behind the girls? And sent the pictures anyway? Tom rubbed his temples. I don't know what to say. Mara's voice cracked. You don't have to say anything. This is exactly what I was afraid of. She walked upstairs, tears slipping silently down her cheeks, not because of the photos, but because of the betrayal. Because she had finally done something beautiful for their family, and it had been ripped apart by someone who refused to respect her place in it. Hours later, there was a knock on their bedroom door. It was Lily. Grandma called, she said quietly. Mara braced herself. What did she say? She said she didn't mean to upset anyone, but she also said you shouldn't be so sensitive because you're not our real mom. Every word slammed into Mara's chest. But Lily wasn't finished. I told her she was wrong. Lily added, voice trembling. She said being real family means sharing blood, but I told her. Real family is the person who shows up, the person who stays, the person who loves us even when it's hard. Ava appeared behind her, holding a crumpled drawing. I made this at school, she said softly. It's us, our family. I drew you in the middle. On the paper was a messy but heartfelt sketch. 2 girls with big smiles, Tom with stick figure muscles, and Mara right between the girls, holding both their hands. Something inside Mara broke open. Not in pain, in relief, in love, in gratitude so fierce it made her knees weak. She knelt and hugged them both as tightly as she could. You two are my heart, she whispered, and I'm never going to let anyone make you doubt what we are to each other. For the first time in days, the heaviness began to lift. That night, Mara made a decision. She walked downstairs where Tom was sitting on the couch, staring blankly at the TV. We need boundaries, she said simply. Tom muted the screen. You're right. And we need them for your mother just as much as for the girl's mom. Yes, he said again, softer this time. And Tom, I need you with me on this. Not neutral, not in the middle, with me. He looked up at her, really looked, and something in his expression shifted. You're right, he said. I'm sorry. I should have stood by you from the start. You've done everything for these girls. You've kept this family together. And I let my mother treat you like an outsider. Mara exhaled shakily. I just need to feel like I matter. You do, he said. More than you know. They talked for the next hour. Really talked. And by the end of the conversation, they both knew what they needed to do. The next day, Tom called his mother. Mara didn't hear the whole conversation, but she heard enough. No, Mom, this isn't up for debate. You went behind our backs. Mara is part of this family. She has boundaries and we respect them. If you want a relationship with the girls, you cannot undermine her again. No, listen to me. Blood doesn't make a family. Commitment does. The call ended with Margaret furious, but boundaries were finally in place. And for the first time in weeks, Mara felt like she could breathe. 2 days later, while the girls were outside playing in the yard, Mara opened her laptop and wrote a message to Margaret. Not angry, not defensive, just real. I love the girls. I have loved them every day for the past 3 years. I am not replacing anyone, but I am choosing to be here, fully and permanently. All I ask is that you respect my role. If you want photos or anything involving the girls, you may ask us directly, not through them. We're trying to protect their peace, not take yours away. She doubted Margaret would change overnight. People rarely do. But that wasn't the point. The point was that Mara found her voice. She stopped shrinking to make others comfortable. She stepped fully into the place she had already earned. And the girls saw it, they felt it, they trusted it. Later that week, the girls asked if they could print one of the family photos for their room. Can we put it on the wall? Ava asked excitedly. Right above the dresser? Lily added. Of course, Mara said with a smile. Which one? This one, Ava said, holding up a picture where both girls were wrapped in Mara's arms, laughing like the world was finally soft again. Tom watched from the doorway, eyes warm. That's my favorite too, he said. As the girls taped it to the wall, Ava turned and said, Families don't have to match. They just have to love. Mara felt her throat tighten. That's right, she whispered. That's exactly right. And for the first time since those two trembling girls showed up at her door 3 years ago, Mara felt like she truly belonged. Not because of blood, not because of permission, but because love had made it so. Moral takeaway: real family isn't about DNA. It's about the people who stay, the people who show up, and the people who fight for each other when things get hard. Blood may connect you, but love is what keeps you together. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.